beautiful truth seekers, welcome or welcome back to Truth in Life Tarot. In this reading, we are going to be going over what is the point of this connection. So for pile 1, we have the Crystal Power Tarot with the Rose Quartz. For pile 2, we have the Star Spinner Tarot with the Green Aventurine Pyramid. For pile 3, we have the Psychic Tarot with the Selenite Heart. And for pile 4, we have the Weaver Tarot with the Rose Quartz Point. So the timestamps, including the pre-shuffle, is going to be down below, and I will see you guys at your pile. Bye. Hello, and welcome to the pre-shuffle. So first up, we have the Harry Potter Magical Meditations deck. And that is a mouthful every time I say it. Okay, let's see. For pile 1, what is the point of their connection? Let's see, pile 2. Ooh. I'll take the ones that fell upright. Pile 3. And pile 4. That was a lot. That was like, I think that was only 3. Yeah. No, there's 4. Okay. So pile 4 got the most. Okay. Next up, we have the Spirit Animal Oracle deck. And of course, as usual, all the decks I'm using will be listed below. What is the point of this connection for pile 2? That was a whole lot. Okay. What is the point of this connection for pile 4? Okay, last but not least, we have the In the Shadows Oracle deck by All Things Intuitive. And I'm actually going to shuffle it this way as well. What is the point of this connection for pile 1? Pile 2. 3. And pile 4. Alright, the timestamps for your pile is going to be down below as usual, and I will see you guys there. Bye! Hi Pile 1! For those of you who chose this rose quartz crystal as well as the Crystal Power Tarot, and this is your reading. So what is the point of this connection for Pile 1? So first card out is Justice. Next up, 7 of Pentacles. Yeah. Okay, we have the Hierophant, the Fool, and what is this? The Hanged Man. Let's see if we can get 1 or 2 more. Okay. 6 of Swords. In the back of the deck energy is the Chariot. So, wow, you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 major arcana. Alright. So, I'm going to read all these out and just making them look pretty. And also organized and kind of in a semi-straight line, because if it's not, that will be distracting. Alright, that's good enough. Alright, so we have Justice, which in this card is the 8th card. I know in some cards it's number 11. In this deck, it happens to be number 8, and the crystal for it is sodalite. It says, I speak my truth in fairness to myself. 7 of Pentacles, Malachite, I trust my ideas and my direction. The Hanged Man, number 12, Selenite, I can see the situation another way. 5, why am I saying 5? The Hierophant, Amethyst, I am ready to love and learn. The Fool, Clear Quartz, Amethyst, Sodalite, Green Aventurine, Citrine, Carnelian, and Red Jasper, I am guided and protected on my life journey. 6 of Swords, Sodalite, I know that peaceful times will come. And the Chariot, Carnelian, I go forward with confidence. Also, I was just drawn to this key on this Hierophant. See this little heart key? It actually made me think of like a key at like not just a key to your heart, but the key to like new experiences, the key to fresh ideas. But what is the point of this connection for Pile 1? So far I'm getting to trust yourself. That is the first and so far most prominent message. There's a lot about like confidence, being ready, trusting yourself, knowing, being guided. These are all the words that are on these cards, and even just with the basic meanings of the cards themselves and also just what's coming through, I'm getting that a big part of what you're supposed to get out of this connection is how to trust yourself on a very spiritual level. So some of you may have like this knowing in your mind, like, okay, well, obviously I'm supposed to do this, and obviously this is bad and this is good, but it's not. I feel like that alone is not enough to complete your confidence and the way that you like truly trust yourself. This is a more spiritual and more uplifting way that you will learn to trust yourself. I also get the sense that it's not only about trusting yourself and like your own intuition and just like all the things that we normally doubt about yourself, like, oh, was that like, am I imagining this, like that type of thing. But I feel like it's also trusting that things will work out. So not that you guys particularly have a tight grip on like, not that you're the controlling per se, but I feel like a big part of this connection, the whole point of it, or a big part of the point of it, is to help you to trust that even in the future things are going to be okay. Because with the Justice card here, I get the sense that you may have been indecisive, or maybe this person that you're thinking about is indecisive. Um, Maybe there's something that's a part of the situation that is making you not feel like you're on steady ground. I also get that with the Hangman here, like maybe you've had to change your perspective because of this, or you've had to be more patient, more trusting. You could have also had to learn to kind of, I almost wanted to say trust other people, but trust what you see in other people. So, what I mean by that is if someone shows you that they are a certain way, to just roll with that, not to assume anything different, not to judge people from their potential, not to assume the worst, just to judge from what you experience and believe what you experience. So, don't gaslight yourself. So, with the Seven of Pentacles, I get the sense that you have had to, there may have been like an uncomfortable weight or like an uncomfortable lull in this connection where maybe you weren't sure and things were not as clear as you would like them to be. And so you either have already, or you are going to have to change your perspective so that you can trust yourself a bit more. Trust what you see, trust what you're experiencing. Because the last card, the last card was Six of Swords, but the back of the deck energy, it has a similar energy of like moving forward. Like the Chariot is about like taking control of opposing forces and going forward with that. It also represents Cancer. By the way, Justice is Libra. The Hanged Man is Pisces. The Hierophant, I believe, is Taurus, if I'm not mistaken. And the Fool might be Aquarius. If the Fool even has a corresponding sign, but I feel like it is Aquarius. So with the Six of Swords, the Six of Swords typically depicts someone moving away from something. It's like a change of, it's like moving to calmer water. So a change of the way that you're thinking, a change of pace. And in this case, I feel like you guys are changing the way, or the point of this connection, whether you're there yet or not, is to change the way you go about things. So if something isn't for you, like I said before, don't gaslight yourself. A part of the point of this connection is so that you can move away from those type of things. Like you learn what is good for you, what is not good for you, and then you're able to act upon that knowledge. Even with the Fool here, it's like you're just a part of the point of this connection is to trust that things are going to be okay afterwards if you decide to make a change in this connection. Even the Hierophant here says, I am ready to love and learn. So I feel like the learning part is really important. To learn where your boundaries are, what is a deal breaker, what is acceptable and what is not acceptable. And some of you already know this information, but you're you don't have, or some of you aren't going to have it yet, but a part of what's going on in this connection is you are learning to maintain that boundary, or kind of keep the things that you've learned and are able to move with that instead of having it separate from this connection. You're able to have that in this connection and go forward with that. So yeah, I'm not seeing that this is a particularly negative connection. Even though with the Seven of Pentacles and the Six of Swords, those can be kind of negative energies come sometimes because it's not a positive feeling. Just sitting there waiting, which is what the Seven of Pentacles usually talks about. Even with this card, it feels like there's an unpleasant like weight there. Like, I don't mean weight as in like waiting. I mean like weight as in like there's a heft, like there's like a heaviness, as well as just like a waiting. So some of you may be in that situation where, not that maybe you've had to wait, or because you're waiting, you're learning something. But this is going to be really important for some of you, as is the Six of Swords. Because even if you're able to get in the Six of Swords energy, it's going to be important to kind of transition from that and be in this Chariot energy where you go forward with confidence and you have successfully taken the reins and you are moving with purpose and speed. So let's see what your oracle cards have to add. I'm actually going to start out with your spirit animal card. Dragonfly Spirit, truth transcends illusion. And this is card number 22. So with this card, I'm getting the sense that you guys are going to be seeing more, or you have seen more. It depends on where you are in this connection, because this I feel like this may be the case for all the piles, but so far I'm definitely getting with this pile that the people that choose this pile, you're not all going to be in the same point of this connection. So some of you are going to be thinking about a past connection. Some of you are going to be in the middle of this connection. Some of you are going to be at the tail end. Yeah, and I feel like there's going to be a lot of things that you're going to see, and you're going to have to trust that. Don't trust a facade or potential, a persona, none of that. Trust yourself, because that inner truth that you have is going to transcend the illusion anyway, but it's up to you to keep that. It's up to you to use that continuously. So not just use it, know it and then act like you don't know it later. It's going to be up to you to maintain that. Let's see. We have identity. And it says, we've all got, let me put it a little bit closer. We've all got both light and dark inside us. What matters is the part we choose to act on. That's who we really are. Sirius Black, Harry Potter, and the Order of the Phoenix. Consider the light and dark sides of your personality. Which side do you think you have been choosing to act on the most lately? Okay, so for this light and dark side, I feel like it's more pertaining to the opposite, like, person here, where you can see both the light and the dark side, and perhaps some of you are in a situation where, because the person is acting more on their light side, or because you can see a lot of their light side, you think that that's who that person really is. And it's not that that's not true per se, it's just that there are other factors to be considered here. And the whole point is to really trust what you see that person to be. So if that is the case, if that's what you're going through, then it's not a matter of either or. So someone can be, it's not just as simple as saying this person is good or this person is bad. Like, there's this gray area, and you're going to have to, or part of the point of this connection is to accept that gray area, whatever it is, whether it's a darker gray, lighter gray, whatever. And the question is, which side do you think you have been choosing to act on lately? And I feel like that's the question could be kind of flipped to ask, which side have you been seeing the most lately? Or which side do you pay the most attention to? That's the question. So we also have battling our fears. In Harry Potter and the Deathly Hallows Part 1, Harry tries to leave the burrow. Are you guys going to be able to read that? It's okay if you can't read it because it's kind of a long, um, yeah, it's a lot to read on a card. Okay, so Harry tries to leave the burrow to start the hunt for Voldemort's Horcruxes on his own. Luckily, Ron finds him in time and talks him out of it, knowing that Harry will need him and Hermione to complete the quest. Harry eventually relents, accepting his friend's help and returning to the house. Sometimes the best way to handle a challenging situation is to accept your friend's help. Have your friends ever stopped you from making a hasty decision or offered help during a difficult time? Did you accept? Why or why not? Do you think these things would have been different if you had made a different choice? Okay, so for some of you, your friends have been helping you, or not even necessarily friends. Like, you could have been getting messages, like if you watch readings, or it could have came to you in like movies or music or something like that, where you've been getting messages in one form or another about this connection. It resonates with this connection. It makes you think about this connection. And so these are things you need to pay attention to as well, because that is help from the universe. So the trust that comes from this connection, or the trust that you will, is the point of this connection and what you will gain from this connection, it needs to be carried on after this connection as well, for those of you who are like in like the aftermath, and for those of you who are in the middle of it. There's a reason why you are getting these messages. So it's important to not just take the good from the messages and think like, oh, well, there's a bit of good in it, so I'm good. Like, if you're getting messages, especially the same messages that may not feel good to hear, it's just as important as as the messages that make you feel good. So don't kind of cherry pick or whatever. Just make sure that you are honoring all of the messages, because you guys are getting some messages that doesn't necessarily have to be from friends. I feel like you guys could be getting helpful advice from all sorts of different angles. But you do have to accept it. You do have to take that in. It's a choice that you have to make. Otherwise, the messages kind of will just go over your head and go nowhere. So if you're in the Shadows Oracle card, you have I've been struggling. So I feel like this could be you and the other person in this connection. I do feel like I'm feeling it more for the other person though. So this person, and it just happened to fall right under the Justice card, and that represents Libra, and Libras are known for being indecisive. That's one of the kind of negatives that is associated with that sign. So this person, because they've been struggling, oh, and right under the Seven of Pentacles too. So just how do I phrase this? Because they have been struggling, and they have been taking them a while to I almost want to say be the person you need them to be, but just be better, really. And I also get the sense that this person may not know how to deal with it. Like, they may not know how to go forward. Yeah, that's definitely a part of the message I'm getting. Like, because of whatever struggle is going on, there's no clear way forward. There's no like straight A to B kind of path for them. Yeah. But that's some of you need to hear this. That's none of your business. Some of you need to hear that just because someone is going through something doesn't mean that their struggle has to be your struggle. But let's see. Let's get you guys some charms. As usual, we're going to start off with the runes. And here are some letters as well. Let's get the numbers. And the charms. So if you're new here, hi, welcome to Truth in Life Tarot. So I actually shuffle around in here, and it's gonna be a bit noisy, but I shuffle around in here and I don't look, and I just kind of keep shuffling until I feel like it's time to take out a chunk or two or three or four, depends on when it's time to stop. So here I go. Okay, you guys got a lot of chess pieces. Okay, let's start out with your rune. You have... There you go. So this is Laguz, and this is a rune that represents water, renewal, dreams. It's kind of like, it actually reminds me of the typical water energy as well as moon energy, but it also represents fantasies as well as like psychic matters, and I guess you can, yeah, like heal, yeah, because renewal, healing energy. So let's see. For your letters, you have I, Q, C. Can I fit this all in my hand? Let's see. I, Q, C, O, and U. I got it all in there. For your number, you have the number 8. So these numbers and letters, really any of these charms, they could mean different things for, each of you. So take them as they resonate. For your charms, you have the Knight, the Bishop, and the King. Okay, I'm gonna place them down so you guys can see them. But so what this tells me, it kind of pulls me back to this side of the reading where there's a lot of, like, it's not a whole lot of forward movement per se. It's kind of stagnant energy. Could be just trying to figure stuff out. Not that the Knight, like, obviously this chess piece moves throughout the chessboard, but it moves in such a way, it moves in an L shape, so it moves in such a way where it could be difficult to get to where you want to be with this particular piece. With this with this bishop, you are the one, I feel like, that is going to be more likely to zoom across the board. Could be diagonally, and by diagonally I mean that you might have originally been trying to go this way, and then by the end of this connection you find that you have had to go this way, so away from your original goal, still kind of in the same direction but not exactly straightforward. I get that that's the case for a lot of you. With this king, so the king can only move one square at a time. So with that, I'm kind of getting that you might be in the energy of slowly moving to where you need to be. So for some of you, it's going to be more of a smoother transition, and for some of you, it's not that it's like this terrible transition per se, but it's not going to be as quick for you. You're going to have to take slow steps because maybe you were expecting something more from this connection, or maybe you have been struggling as well, but there is a movement in positive direction. You do have a lot of movements, well, I would say powerful movement cards. So you also have the green bell. The bells represent belief, and you guys got the green one, so that represents the heart chakra, love, the earth chakra. Also, because green, I said earth chakra, earth element, I think. I'm getting it all mixed up. Okay, so earth element, heart chakra. So what I meant to say is it can also be associated with the water element as well. But it also represents luck and abundance. So yeah, I feel like for you guys, your heart space, your emotions, the way that you generally feel about this connection, I don't think is going to be bad in the end, especially like when you can really see the point of it. If you're kind of in the midst of it, you may not be at that point right now, but I feel like once you can really grasp the point of it and actually be able to use it and go forward with it, it's going to be more so in a positive energy. Like you'll get more positive out of it than like any lingering negativity. So yeah, that is all I have for you, Pile 1. If that resonated, please give it a thumbs up. Thank you so much for letting me read for you. That was a really interesting reading. Comment down below and hit subscribe if you are not already subscribed. I am on Tumblr, TikTok, Instagram, and Reddit if you would like to follow me over there for more readings. And I also do personal readings now. So thanks again for letting me read for you, and I will see you guys in another reading. Bye. Hello, Pal 2. If you chose the Star Spinner Tarot as well as this green aventurine pyramid, then this is your reading. So, what is the point of this connection? So you have the Seven of Wands. You have the Queen of Coins, so the Queen of Pentacles, and the Two of Swords. The Knight of Coins. What is the point of this connection for pile 2? You have the Nine of Swords, the Chariot, and to the back of the deck energy, you have the Knight of Swords. Okay. So it's interesting because pile 1 also had the Chariot. But it was actually the back of the deck energy. Okay, so pile 2. I'm getting that it's important to like stand on your own 2 feet in a way. You could have to like conquer your fears or like conquer some sort of mental, could be mental influence. So like if you made up your mind about something about this connection, it's important to know how to stand your ground. So if you trust yourself and you have come to the conclusion that something is the right thing to do, it's important to trust yourself as well as to kind of maintain that earthly boundary, or maintain that like anything that affects like the physical world. So if you decided that you're not going to do something, a part of the point of this connection is to learn how to like kind of dig your feet in the ground so that you don't do it. Like to really stand on your own and really be the person that you think you are, or that you think you want to be. Because I get the sense that you have an idea for this connection, or like the aftermath of this connection, but you may not be that good in actually carrying it out. So with the Seven of Wands here, as well as the Nine of Swords, that's what, like, I get the sense that it's something that you'll have to do continuously, or something that needs to be done continuously. That's kind of like what you're learning from this connection. And even with the Queen of Pentacles and the Knight of Pentacles, there's something you really need to do. Like, there's something that is really important that needs to be done in the physical world. And a part of the point of this connection is to actually do it. So some of you have just been thinking it. You need to do it. You need to walk the talk. You may have been on the fence about it. You may have been indecisive about it, or kind of at a standstill. A part of the point of this connection is to learn how to act. Because you do have the Chariot here. And the Chariot is also about taking the reins, it could be opposing forces. It could be just like something going on in your own mind, and just like going forward with that, with confidence, with conviction. The Knight of Swords is similar to that too, in that the Knight of Swords can be kind of like headstrong, in that they're going to do what they say they're going to do. It's not just words with the Knight of Swords, it's action as well. Because the Knights are about movement, chivalry, bravery, getting things done. So that's definitely a big part of what you guys are going to get from this connection. Like, it's a part of what you're learning and what the point of this connection is. Even with the Knight of Pentacles, like, I get the sense that you guys may, this is the only weird card for me. It kind of feels like you need to, even if you need to move slowly, you need to move with conviction. Because again, the Knights are about like that movement forward, but the Knight of Pentacles, he is the most sure of himself, and that is why he is taking his time. So it's going to be different for each of you. You may have to move slower in some instances and faster in others, but there is important movement to be had. That is the point of this connection. And I feel like it goes a bit beyond like a lesson. Like, I feel like this is kind of really important. Like, it has like that deep feeling to it, where it's not just like, it may not be the kind of thing where you just like learn this lesson here and then take it with you. I feel like it's more foundational than that. Not that what you learn from this connection won't be carried forward in your life, further down the road. I just feel like it's less of a karmic type of thing. Yeah. And more of a part of you, like a more fixed part of you type of thing. But let's see what your oracle cards have to add. I'm going to start out with your spirit animal oracle card. Coyote Spirit, Trust in Divine Detours. Card number 16. I'm going to put this here. So, I'm also getting a little bit of, work smarter, not harder energy with this card, as well as just think smart. Like, you may have to think outside the box, and the way that you move as a result of this connection may not be in the original way that you thought you were going to have to move as far as this connection is concerned. But you do have to trust that you're doing the right thing, that you're going in the right direction. And you'll know. I feel like some of you, by the time you've come to this reading, you already know what this card is referring to. You know that there are things that may have to be changed. You may have to change direction. Because you have 3 movement cards here. And even with this Queen of Pentacles, it just has the energy of like someone who is sure, someone who is content and sure in their choices. Like there's a certain conviction that needs to be had if it's not had already. So, for your Harry Potter magical meditation card, you have personal growth. It does not do to dwell on dreams, Harry, and forget to live. Professor Dumbledore, Harry Potter, and the Sorcerer's Stone. There's nothing wrong with a little daydreaming, but it's important not to get so caught up in dreams that you forget to enjoy your life. Today, leave the daydreams behind and go outside, visit a new place, meet up with friends, or simply take a walk. Explore the world a little and see what adventures it brings you. Okay, so with this card, I'm getting that a lot of you may have like a fantasy, or you may think a certain thing that it's not entirely true. I feel like you kind of have to make it true, essentially. So you have to put the physical world work in. It's not that you can't have what you're dreaming of per se, or like the good thing that you're envisioning, but I feel like you have not fully accepted that there's work to be done. That a big part of this connection is the work that needs to be done. You also have resistance. And it says in Harry Potter and the Order of the Phoenix, Harry is put on trial. You guys can't read that. Okay, I'll just read it. Harry is put on trial before the Ministry of Magic for performing magic outside of school. Although the Ministry wants to expel him, Harry, with Professor Dumbledore's help, asserts that his actions were justified due to life-threatening circumstances. Fortunately, he is found innocent and allowed to return to school. Have you ever been accused of something you didn't do? What did you do to try to prove your innocence, and was it effective? Okay, so I was kind of getting this from the beginning of the reading, but so now I feel like someone needs this confirmation. I feel like this is about an interracial or like there's some sort of difference in this connection that is causing this work to have to be done. That's what makes it not like the not cut and dry per se. So you and this person could be from different cultures. It could be different age groups as well. Just like there's some sort of important difference here. Because the Seven of Wands was the first card out. And as you can see from this card, it's about like defending one's position, defending one's energy, defending one's peace. And with the Knight of Swords here, like I was saying before, the Knight of Swords means what he says. You know, he walks the talk. He's not just going to say something and not do it. This is a knight. The knights are about movement. And you also have two other movement cards here. So for you, you're going to have to move in a way that maybe you've never moved before. You're going to have to act in ways that maybe you've never acted before. That is a huge point of this connection. You're going to have to be smart. You're going to have to move in certain ways. So especially when I go back to this card, the one that talks about dreams and, you know, possibly forgetting to live your life, I feel like it's another call to not just imagine what you want your world and this connection to be like, but to actually act on it, because you can create this thing that you are thinking about. Let's see, for your In the Shadow Oracle card, it says, you can't come with me. So there are things that, and I feel like this is like both you and the person, like if this is in fact the kind of connection where like there's like notable differences between the people involved, you can't experience or do what they're doing, and they can't experience or do what you are doing. It's like it's two separate, like you can't take on roles or neglect your role. You have to be willing to do the work. And this, it says you can't come with me. So again, it's like depict like travel. It's like not travel per se, but movement. Yeah, there's definitely some movement to be had. Whether that's things being said, things being done, I definitely feel like it's both. Taking the reins and moving your vehicle, this connection in the right direction. So I feel like a lot of you who chose this pile, you are currently in this connection. Or even if you're not currently in this connection, this is still something that you can take from it. Because I think I said this in the beginning, that this feels like the kind of purpose or point to this connection where it's kind of deeper than something you just like take with you for future connections. I feel like it's more of a real life. I almost said lesson, but that's not incorrect. It's a real life experience. Okay, so let's get you guys some charms. We're gonna start off with the runes. And some letters. And numbers. So let's see. Okay, now we're going to get into the charms. So if you're new here, welcome. So I don't actually look in here as I shuffle around. I just shuffle around until I feel like it's time to take out some charms. So here we go. Okay, so one of the letters fell on the floor. Let me see if I can get it. Okay. Okay, so for your rune, there you go. So this is So Willow. It is a rune about success, honor, like achieving your goals. It's also about like a positive change in your life. For your letters, you have D, Q, I, and N. For your number, you have 10. And for your charms, you have the blue car. So another message about movement. There you go. This is a little cute little car. It's actually the car from the Game of Life. So the car represents oh, you have another one. You have another little travel charm, but the car represents purposeful movement. The color blue corresponds with the throat chakra. Blue is also a color of truth, tranquility. It is also sometimes associated with the water element as well, but it is also associated with the air element. So you have the bishop chess piece. So again, and I say again, but really I'm thinking about pile one now. How um, pile one had like the same message where like you might not be going directly towards your original goal, because getting from where you are to where you need to be may not be as straight as that. You may need to go diagonally, where you are still essentially going in the same direction, just not the exact path that you were thinking that you were going to take. And I do feel like it can be quicker or slower. It really depends on you and what you have going on. I feel like a lot of the power lies within you, though. So you can choose to make this journey quicker if you want to. That is a part of the point of this connection, is kind of allowing you, pretty much you realizing that you have power. So you also have this little fortune cookie message, and it says, attend to business today, leave that street side flower alone. So this message for you guys is more pertaining to the nitty gritty. So attend to the nitty gritty today and leave other things, like maybe, I guess, possibly more surface things alone, because the deep things are the things that truly matter in this connection, or at least the point of this connection. So that is something that you guys should keep in mind. So I'll do the bell next. So you guys got the silver bell. So the bells represent belief, and the color silver represents the feminine energy, and also wealth, because gold and silver represent wealth. But for silver, I more so get the sense that it's the kind of wealth that may not be able to be seen. So yeah, feminine energy, lunar energy as well. So the unconscious, the unseen, ebb and flow, like that type of thing I get with this charm. And last but not least, you have the vacation. Ooh, two of your little two of your letters flew on the floor. Okay, so you have this kind of travel vacation charm. So not, well, in your case it may not necessarily be vacation per se, but I do feel like it is just another message of the important movement that needs to be had. And I feel called to specify that this charm says New York. And if you know anything about New Yorkers, or if you had ever visited New York, you know it is a fast paced area where you can't really it's not that you can't dawdle. But the message I'm getting is that it would behoove you to act in a way that makes sense for you. So if you're going someplace, go someplace. Don't just stay there and like stand around looking around at the buildings. Like, leave that street side flower alone. Like, just, you got business to attend to is what I'm getting with this charm. Oh wow, that was really interesting. So I think that is all I have for you, Pal 2. Thank you so much for letting me read for you. Hit the thumbs up if that resonated, or if you liked it. Comment down below, let me know how I did, and hit subscribe if you are not already subscribed. You can also join me on Reddit, TikTok, Tumblr, and Instagram if you like these readings and you would like more of me on other platforms. I also do personal readings as well, and that information is going to be in the description box. And yeah, I will see you guys soon in another reading. Bye. Hi, Pile 3. If you chose the Selenite Heart as well as the Psychic Tarot, then this is your reading. So, what is the point of this connection? You have the Hierophant, which in this deck is wisdom. You also have Shadow, which is the Moon card, and I think that's reversed. Yep. You have the Ace of Wands in reverse. Can I get all this in here? Okay. And that Ace of Wands says passion ignited. You also have Death, which is transformation. What is the point of this connection for pile 3? Okay, you have the heart chakra and the Nine of Swords in reverse, and it says suffering in silence. And for the back of the deck energy, you have the Ace of Pentacles, prosperity begins. Okay, pile 3. Okay, so I feel like for you guys, there is a very prominent point about getting out of your own way and getting out of your head. A huge point or goal or kind of end game for this connection is for you to learn how to kind of like be your best self and advocate for your best self. Because with the Moon and the Ace of Wands in reverse, I feel like you haven't been really doing your best when it comes to the self. Because you see, with this shadow card, this person is like they're both have their hands on like this, it's like a scepter, I guess. But it's like a reflection of the same person. And you guys have it in reverse. And you also have, you see when the Ace of Wands is upright, she's like happy and she's like feeling her own energy. She looks like satisfied and really like in a good meditative state, or like she's feeling very positive. But again, you guys have that in reverse. So I feel like there's a wisdom to be had when it comes to, and like a really deep inner knowing to be had when it comes to this connection. If that is not something that you are used to, that could be where this death or transformation card comes in, where like you have to transform. It's like to let a previous part of you fade away so that you can be reborn, so that you can be transformed. With this heart chakra, you could be, I'm kind of getting the energy of the kind of person that is like really kind, and sometimes it could be to their detriment. So you could have been maybe giving too much or focusing too much on this connection, where you haven't really been able to give yourself the love and the permissions and the really the work and the self-care that you deserve and that you need. So one of the kind of more prominent points of this connection is for you to start to advocate for yourself. Because even with the Wisdom, the Hierophant, and the Nine of Swords in reverse, there's like, I feel like you haven't really been able to use the knowledge that came from or comes from this connection if you're still in it. Like, I feel like you have not been able to do that transformation yet. Because the Hierophant is all about learning. It is also about like it could be like a teacher student type of connection. That's one of the things that I get. And also just really like learning how to advocate for yourself. Like I keep hearing that, like advocate for yourself. So you may not have been suffering per se, because this card says suffering in silence. Some of you may not have been suffering, but you haven't been exactly where you want or need to be. You haven't been flourishing per se. But you do have the Ace of Pentacles, Prosperity Begins, as the back of the deck energy. So that is a part of your advocation for yourself. That is a part of the, like, where this connection, the point of this connection rather, will really flourish. Because you see in this card, it's a tree and there's hands on top of the soil, but you can see the roots, and you can even see like this little seed here. So you see the whole thing, like you see the person nourishing the tree via the roots and the seed, and then you see the tree, and you even see the fruits that the tree bears. Okay, let's see what your oracle cards have to add. So I'm going to start off with your spirit animal oracle card. You guys have two. The first one is butterfly. Spirit transformation is beautiful. Yes, it is. And you also have moth spirit, surrender now. So you guys may have been really struggling with letting go of the part of this connection that kind of doesn't allow you to fully advocate for yourself and be the person that you could be. I also get the sense that this is like not surrender control in the stereotypical sense. I should just say typical sense, but like surrender as in know what you know and do what you know to do. And this is card number 11. This is card number 39. I'm actually gonna read the book for the moth spirit. Okay. Moth Spirit asks, what is guiding you right now? Are you in alignment with spirit or pursuing something or someone with so much tenacity that it has become a compulsion or addiction? Yes. Are you so intoxicated by a potential relationship or opportunity that you can't think straight? Yes. This is what I was saying. Hard work and dedication are virtues, and love, of course, is a beautiful thing. However, when Moth Spirit appears, it is time to consider if you have gone over the edge in a relentless pursuit. Workaholism, overeating, perfectionism, or addiction to certainty or even to a person may be your current vice. The form of your addiction does not matter so much as awareness of the consequences of remaining persistent when moderation is needed. Let go of your excessive energy by channeling it in more than one direction. The fire burns hot. Wow. And I just so happen to place that below the Ace of Wands. The fire burns hot, and you do not want to be engulfed by your passion to the exclusion of all other pursuits that matter to you. Wow. Okay, pile 3. Enough said. Enough said. You guys are, the point of this connection is to redirect your energy towards yourself, towards other things that are more meaningful to you, or just towards the self. Because right now, or I feel like most of you really are in the midst of this connection, and it's not like past tense, but even if it is past tense for you, you still need to fully grasp this message, because I do feel like this is something that you may have thought of but not fully implemented, which is why it's coming through in like so many different angles. That kind of advocation, that transformation, that positive change and that willingness to take the knowledge that you have and to take like the things that you've been thinking so that you can move in a more positive direction. Because right now it seems like there's a bit of a stagnancy in which the reason you can't move is because you are choosing to stay stuck in this particular way. But let's see. For your Harry Potter Magical meditation cards. What a mouthful. You have Flights of Fancy. The wizards in the Harry Potter films use a wide variety of spells, charms, and enchantments to work their magic. If you could use one spell, trying to see if you guys can read it, from the Harry Potter films, what would it be? What about that particular spell is so appealing? So, I feel like if you guys, pile 3, if you guys could do some kind of spell, and I'm not gonna like name a Harry Potter, excuse me, spell, but I feel like it would be a spell where you can have your cake and eat it too, where you can keep doing what you're doing, but also have that transformation as well. Some kind of spell or charm. Liquid luck. What's the one where like you can like pretty much not possess someone, but you can make them do pretty much whatever you want. It's one of the three spells, curses that you're never supposed to do. Ah, this is gonna drive me crazy. Okay, there's the Cruciatus curse. There's the killing curse, and I feel like the other one starts with an I, and it's on the tip of my tongue, and I can't think of it. Anyway, before this drives me crazy, I'm gonna move on to the next card. So you have resistance, and it says Dobby has no master. Dobby is a free elf, and Dobby has come to save Harry Potter and his friends. Right out the gate, advocacy for yourself. Like, have you seen the Harry Potter movies? Like, I okay, I'm gonna keep reading. Dobby is a house elf. And again, I feel like you guys may have trouble reading this because of the lighting, but I'm going to read it. Harry Potter is a house elf in service of the Malfoy family. Despite the horrible consequences, Dobby leaves Malfoy Manor multiple times throughout Harry Potter and the Chamber of Secrets to warn Harry against danger at Hogwarts. Later in Harry Potter and the Deathly Hallows Part 1, Dobby once again risks it all to help Harry, returning to the home of his former masters and ultimately giving his life to save his friends. Dobby is kind and brave, a true hero who resists the traditional enslavement of his species and fights for his freedom and his friends. What can you do today to honor the spirit of Dobby? I swear, you guys have like some of the most direct, to the point, cutthroat energies and messages said multiple times in multiple different ways throughout this reading, and I am loving it for you guys. I hope you leave this reading with this message to advocate for yourself and to really put in the work. Because first, Dobby had to find Harry Potter and tell him about all the things that were going on in the Chamber of Secrets. And then later, as a result of him helping Harry, Harry finds a way to free him. And then later, he comes back to help Harry Potter again in Deathly Hallows Part 1. So yeah, you got to get the ball rolling. Even if you're not the one that does, like, even if you're not the one that does the legwork or the hard parts, literally every step of the way, you got to get the ball rolling. That's you. That's all you. So for your In the Shadows Oracle cards, it says, I can still see you standing there. Interesting. So for this connection, I'm kind of getting that you are the one that I'm kind of getting it from multiple angles, but the most prominent message I'm getting with this card is that whoever is the one who is looking at the person standing there, that is the person who is stagnant. So it could be you, it could be this other person in this connection, but I feel like the sight or the thought of something being undone or you not getting your way in a particular way is what's holding you up. I can still see you standing there. So this could be something, especially with the Nine of Swords in reverse, this could be something that haunts you, even if it's not something that happened yet per se, just the thought of it, the thought of something being like still, and the thought, like something like nagging in your head that really bothers you. Yeah, I feel like this is something that it is a part of your transformation, but it is also something that you need to fully acknowledge. Because I feel like some of you think that you can do this transformation without fully acknowledging these, these things that are going on in your head, like your shadows, the things that you have not moved forward with yet in terms of, like your mental, like everything going on in your mind. And it's like, you gotta acknowledge that too. hmm Um, I'm gonna move on to your charms. So let's get you guys some runes. And a letter. Let's see here. I think all the piles so far have gotten Q as their letter. That's wow. And for your number, all right. And now for the charms. So if you're new here, hi, welcome. So I normally just shuffle around here with my eyes closed until I feel like it's time to take out one, two, three, four, however many handfuls I feel like I have to take out. So I'm gonna start that now. Okay, so you have Uruz as your rune. So, and I always do it like the opposite way, like there. There you go. So this rune represents the ox, so that's strength, untamed but also untapped potential. There's also like freedom and really like action and courage and strength with that rune. So for your letters, you have Q, A, I, M, as in Mary, and X. So let's see. For your numbers, you have, and one of these actually came from the charm box. So that's interesting. You have 10 and 11. And for your charms, you have this beauty charm. Put it over here so you guys can see it. So the beauty charm not only represents beauty, but it's beauty like untapped beauty, but also the kind of beauty that may not be apparent. So there could be something inside of you. Yeah, there's definitely something inside of you that is really beautiful that needs to be brought out to the forefront. That is a huge point of this connection. It is a part of the transformation that comes with this connection. And there's also like physical beauty here as well. For some of you, this is going to be as much as an outside beauty as it is, inside as much as outside, where you're going to have to really acknowledge your own beauty, however that resonates for you. So we also have 2 bells, and the bells represent belief, and you guys got the silver and red one. So the red one corresponds to the root chakra, as well as the fire element, also to a certain extent the earth element. It represents, the color red represents passion, energy, drive, love, and even lust. And silver represents lunar energy, so moon energy, the ebb and flow, water energy as well, and the feminine energies. So, yeah. Thank you so much for letting me read for you, Pile 3. That was. All these readings have been so interesting. I love it. So, if you like this reading, please give it a thumbs up. Comment down below. Let me know how I did. You can follow me on Instagram, Tumblr, TikTok, and Reddit. And I also do personal readings now. All that information is going to be down below in the description box. And I will see you guys soon in another reading. Bye. Hi, Pile 4. If you chose the Rose Quartz Points and the Weaver Tarot, then this is your reading. So, what is the points of this connection? So, we have the Ruler of Wands, which is the King of Wands, and the Four of Cups. Let's see. What else here? You have the Four of Pentacles. What is the point of this connection for Pile 4? Okay, wow, we got a lot of cards there. Back of the deck energy is the Two of Coins, which is the Two of Pentacles. And let's see what came out. We have the Ace of Wands, the Fool, the Knight of Cups, and the Conqueror of Coins, which is the Knight of Pentacles. So I'm actually going to show you guys each one of these cards because they can be kind of hard to see. That's the King of Wands, the Four of Cups, the Four of Coins or Pentacles, the Ace of Wands, the Fool, there you go, you can actually see the words at the bottom a bit better, Nine of Cups, the Conqueror of Coins, which is the Knight of Pentacles, and the Two of Coins, which is the Two of Pentacles. Alright, so a big message that came through is that one of the points of this connection is for you to know what you want, like what you really want. Not just like what looks good or what, you know, might seem like a good idea, but what you like truly want, like the thing that like really drives you, like really gives you energy just thinking about it. It's like, what are your goals? What do you truly want? So with the King of Wands, as well as the Four of Pentacles, actually, like I get the sense that even though you may have the resources to obtain what you want, you may be kind of too focused on what you have. I get that as well with the Four of Cups, because the Four of Cups typically depicts someone who is not looking at the extra cup or the extra blessing right in front of them. And of course, the Four of Pentacles is about just kind of being not stingy per se, but wanting to keep all of your resources and all your material possessions together, like kind of not wanting that to get away from you. Then you also have the Ace of Wands, which is of course about passion again, and drive as well. The Fool is also about like taking that first step towards your goals, your journey, what you want. The Fool also represents like taking that first step, but in an energy of not knowing what may come next, but having faith that everything is going to be all right. The Nine of Cups. This is like a wish fulfillment card, where it's like you have everything that you want, or like that happiness is there from the Nine of Cups. I definitely get that. Okay, so it's kind of like a big part of the point of this connection is for you to kind of honor this part of yourself, like this Nine of Cups part of yourself, where you acknowledge that yes, you do want this. Like, it may be something that maybe you thought wasn't okay to want or go for, or something you couldn't put all your energy in. Yeah, definitely. There was some kind of blockage there that prevented you from actually seeing that this is what you truly wanted, and from seeing that this is what you truly wanted. Your kind of personal fulfillment. And with the Knight of Pentacles, you this may have been like a slow burn, like a slow realization. You could have been purposefully slowing yourself down because like you felt like that would be better in not bringing your wants to the forefront. Yeah, especially with this Ace of Wands and Nine of Cups here. And with the Two of Pentacles, I can definitely feel like the balance that you guys have done or are doing, where on one hand you have like the way things are or should be, and then on the other hand you have like your own wish fulfillment, and maybe you think that you're asking for too much, or maybe you think that there's like some reason why you should not, or I don't even think that you cannot. I feel like it's more of a should, that like you should not have your wish fulfillment. Maybe you've been like gaslighted or shamed out of that once. But yeah, a huge point of this connection is for you to realize that, for you to really honor your own heart, your own drive. And to not be ashamed, because the King of Wands is not ashamed. Like, he is full of passion and energy and drive, and he is very much a go-getter. He is very much the end point when it comes to like someone who is going towards their goals and like they achieve their goals. And that was the first card to come out for you guys. It was one of the first cards, and especially right next to the Four of Cups and the Four of Pentacles. I feel like you guys aren't allowing yourselves to be in this energy. Like, that's a blockage there. I feel like for a small number of you, you have gotten a bit further than this. But for the majority of people that chose this pile, that's something you've yet to conquer. Yeah. Let me get you guys your oracle cards. So let's start off with your spirit animal oracle. You have Rabbit Spirit. Now is a lucky time. This is card number 49. So with the Rabbit Spirit, I feel like, so for some of you this will be about I can't, reproduction. I could not get that word out. Or just like I feel like a creative idea, or like actual children. So that could be something that maybe you were talked out of, or maybe like you were told, and it could be either way, like either you do want kids or you don't, but maybe you were talked out of it, or maybe you were told that like you shouldn't think that way. So I feel like wherever your heart truly lies with this matter when it comes to any sort of creation, you really need to pay attention to that, because that is what this connection is bringing to your attention. Your true wants when it comes to things like this. And the card also says now is a lucky time. So when, by the time you come to this reading, now is around the time where you would have to go go through this transformation or reflect on it if you've already gone through this. But it's definitely a time to really get in the flow, get in the energy of, it's almost like getting in the energy of advocating for yourself in this way, whereas this way can be just self-care. Like it could be in the form of like shadow work, like kind of knowing what you need to know, accepting what you need to accept, instead of just trying to balance. You should be able to hold both things that you're holding like with you at the same time without feeling like you need to juggle or balance them. But let's see, you guys actually have 4 Harry Potter magical meditations cards. So I'm gonna start off with this one actually, Flights of Fancy. In Harry Potter and the Prisoner of Azkaban, the concept of animagi is introduced. Animagi are wizards who have learned to turn into an animal at will. What animal form the wizard can turn into cannot be chosen, but depends on what kind of person they are. Sirius Black turns into a great black dog. Professor McGonagall turns into a cat. Peter Pettigrew turns into a rat. If you were Animagus, what animal do you think you would turn into? Well, that is interesting. For you guys, I feel like that's saying if you lived in a world where you did not have so much structure, what would you do? Like, what would your base being be? Like, what would your base personality or energy be? Because animals don't live by the same rules that we do. Like, we have structure and we have society and rules and all that, and animals are more, they're more free in that way, where they can just kind of live and, however, I mean, they don't typically do anything crazy like we do, but essentially they can live however they want. So if you, coincidentally want to have like a whole bunch of babies, because when I think of rabbits, I think of like reproduction and like a lot of babies, a lot of children. So if you want a lot of children, or if you don't want a lot of children, or if you want to do something creative, then if there was nothing holding you back, if you knew that you would succeed, what would you do? Like, that's the question that I'm getting from this card. If you knew that you can succeed and that everything was going to be all right, what would you do? Because that is your base. That is who you are. You also have, do this one next, Resistance. As I told you once before, Mr. Potter, naughty children deserve to be punished. Professor Umbridge, Harry Potter, and the Order of the Phoenix. Professor Umbridge is the nasty and ruthless professor of defense against the dark arts in Harry Potter and the Order of the Phoenix, though she is really a spy for the Ministry of Magic. Professor Umbridge delights in the power she has over students, subjecting those who defy her to terrible abuse. In a courageous act of resistance, Harry and his friends form Dumbledore's army to study defense against the dark arts on their own. Have you ever had to deal with an authority figure, a teacher, a boss, or parent who abused their authority like Professor Umbridge? What sort of acts of resistance did you take to handle the situation? Okay, so for you guys, I feel like there is someone or something that prevents you from being your base self and doing things that you naturally want to do. It's kind of like this energy about Umbridge, like you've ever read the books or seen the movies. This is a very terrible character. Like, she essentially doesn't want the students to learn how to defend themselves on the cusp of a very apparent war. She'd rather have the students pretend that nothing is going on and that essentially Magic Hitler is not about to rise to power and not about to start killing people who either are them, because like maybe they're like they're muggleborns or something, or like just the people that they care about. So I know that that might be kind of a weird kind of deep dive for those of you who are not Harry Potter fans, but yeah, you guys could be in a position where you kind of feel like Harry Potter did, where you're not allowed to do things that make sense to you. Like, it would make sense to learn how to defend yourself if you believe your world is about to erupt in a war, like, or if you believe that a freaking dark wizard is trying to kill you. So there are things that make sense to you that you may not be able to fully like envelop yourself in right now. So again, another point, like one of the main points of this connection, is to actually acknowledge what that is and to act on it. Wow, I feel like for a lot of you guys, acting on it is going to be like so many different things. For some of you, it's going to be as simple as like walking away where you can. For others, it's going to be a little like a more rebellious action. And by rebellious, it could just mean like standing up for yourself. And still, for others, I feel like it's more an issue of taking your own power, of using your own power, like igniting your own desires. For a lot of you, it's just that knowledge, it's just that light of acknowledgement of your base self. So you also have identity. It is said that what least attracts us says as much as our identities as what most attracts us. Students at Hogwarts identify strongly with their particular house, but they also often have a house that they strongly don't identify with. For example, students in Slytherin and Gryffindor are known to be rivals. Which Hogwarts house do you feel the least affinity with? What do you think that says about you? So, this is asking you to think about the things that you absolutely do not agree with, like people or situations or just things that make you feel icky, totally opposite from you, and it asks the question, why? What triggers that in you? So if you are a kind of person who is really hardworking and you're really kind and you just happen to be around a person who is like they could be very fake, or they could be very controlling or even underhanded, this is calling you to ask, like, why does that bother you so much? Like, especially if it doesn't affect you, why at your core does this bother you? And you'll be surprised the answers that you'll come up with some of these cards. So make sure that you think about the things that, especially when it comes to this connection, but I feel like this could be more of a worldly question as well. But what bothers you and why? What is the core reason for the why? I mentioned shadow work earlier in this reading, so that might be something you guys are interested in. So you also have battling our fears. In Harry Potter and the Prisoner of Azkaban, I know you guys can't read this, I'm just holding it up. Professor Remus Lupin forms a special bond with Harry as he helps him learn how to fight Dementors. But Professor Lupin also has a secret. He's a werewolf, a condition that has taken a great toll on his life, as he has no control over his actions when he is in his werewolf form. Professor Lupin's struggle with this aspect of his identity shows itself most notably in his decision to leave Hogwarts at the end of the school year. Despite being a skilled and excellent teacher, he is too afraid of unintentionally hurting someone to remain at the school. Do you have your own personal werewolf that you struggle with? Do you feel that your attitude toward it is justified, or like Professor Lupin, could you be letting fear hold you back from living your full life? Okay, so that is another question about the things that you don't like and why don't you like them. Because speaking of Lupin, like later on in the series, like he finds someone who loves him, flaws and all. Like even despite the fact that he is a werewolf, he finds someone who truly loves and supports him. So it's like, what is something that you are struggling with? And do you feel that your attitude towards it is justified? So it's another card kind of asking you to look within and ask yourself, why do I have a problem with this, or where is the problem in this mindset that you have? So for your In the Shadows Oracle card, you have, I've been here before with others. So pile 4, you may have had to hide parts of yourself or feel the need to feel shame or just kind of ignore parts of yourselves when you were in other connections. And this doesn't necessarily have to be romantic, but I feel like this could be kind of normal for you, where you've had to hide a part of yourself. So this could be for some of you who are in the closet as well. I'm getting where like you couldn't be like your full self, or you've had to act a certain way. Yeah, so if you're like LGBTQIA, I think I said that right. This could be for a message for you as well, where the point of this connection is to help you ignite your own wishes and desires. And for some of you, just kind of take hold of that power that you already have. So some of you may not know that you have power within you, that if you kind of, if you put this part of yourself, if you honor this part of yourself and put it to the forefront because it is who you are, that it's not going to negatively affect you in the way that you think. Some of you have real power here, but you're not allowing yourself to acknowledge it. Okay, let's see. Let's get you guys some charms. We're going to start off with your runes. Shake it up a bit more. And some letters. And some numbers. And some charms. So, if you're new to my channel, hi, welcome. I don't actually look in here as I shuffle around. I just shuffle, shuffle, shuffle until I feel like I need to take out a handful. Most of the time I take 2 or 3 handfuls, but let's see. Okay. So first off, for your rune, you have Othala. So this is a rune about like heirlooms and like heritage, like your birthplace, or like the place where kind of like an identity, like what is truly important to you, like your source of safety, like where you feel at home. So that for some of you, this is about a home life. So for your letters, you have A, E, and G. For your numbers, you have the number 9, as well as the number 4. So you got 4 3 times now. You got the 4 of cups, 4 of pentacles, and then this number 4 here. So you have the green and the red bells. So the green bell corresponds with the heart chakra and also the earth element. Green is associated with luck, abundance. I feel like there's something like luck, abundance. I'm thinking of more like synonyms here, like wealth, prosperity. But I said heart chakra as well too. And yeah, luck is a big one I'm feeling with you guys. And so you guys also got the red bell, and red represents fire, passion. You guys do have a lot of passion in your reading, a lot of energy. It represents the root chakra as well as the fire elements. And yeah, this could also represent love and lust as well. So I think you guys are the only pile to get sea glass. So you guys got the blue sea glass. So the sea glass represents transformation, emotional transformation as well. And of course the color blue represents truth. It corresponds with the water element, but it also represents, to me, it's almost like a magical feeling with the color blue as well. But it's, with this charm, I'm mostly getting like heart and throat chakra. Yeah, definitely throat chakra as well with this charm. So you have the bishop. I think this is actually the third. Yeah, this is the third pile to get the bishop. So the way that you may have wanted to go about things may not be direct, like straightforward. You may have to go in a different direction, not like a totally different direction, just like diagonally. So you're not going where you want to go exactly how you wanted to go there, but you're still essentially headed in the same direction. And I don't think this is going to be a particularly slow movement for you guys, even though you didn't get like any fast movement cards. No, what did you get? You did get a knight here, but you got the knight. Let me see, this is the Knight of Pentacles. Yeah. So I don't get any particularly slow movements with this pile, but it may, like, fast or slow, it may be kind of like depends on what's going on. But I feel like the point of this connection, or for some of you, because a lot of you who chose this pile are actually still in this connection, it's not going to be the type of thing that it's fast or slow. It's just going to be kind of is, because I feel like there are going to be other things that you are like thinking about and working on, whereas the speed of this isn't really going to be a factor for you guys. Like, it's not going to be something that you're constantly thinking of, at least not in such a way where it's distracting. So you have this little fortune cookie message that says a focused mind is one of the most powerful forces in the universe. So yes, again with the King of Wands energy, where the kings in the tarot, they are very much leaders, and they're very like adult. That's the word that came to mind, and that they can get things done. So that is the energy that is a part of the point of this connection. That is kind of the energy that you want to be in when it comes to this connection, where you can feel free and safe to do what you need to do to be the real you. So yeah, that is all I have for you, Pile 4. Thank you so much for letting me read for you. Like, comment, and subscribe. Let me know how I did. I am on Tumblr, TikTok, Instagram, and Reddit if you would like to join me over there. I also do personal readings now, so all that information is going to be in the description below. And I will see you guys in another reading.